And so the fact of the matter is we have to get down to brass tacks. Who would do these jobs if the immigrants were to repatriate themselves? If they said, you know what, I can't stay in America anymore because they're cracking down on illegal immigration. I don't want to be arrested. It's been fun while it lasted. I have to leave. And they wouldn't all leave, but let us say 20% of the 30 million started to leave the country. What would happen? Who would take the jobs? Who would do the gardening? Who would do the cooking? Who would do the cleaning? Who would work in the slaughterhouses? The answer is people, able-bodied people on welfare. And you say, oh, what are you talking about? They don't know how to work anymore. Well, they'll learn how to work. Work is something that has to be learned. It is not in the nature of man, by the way, to work. Children are fundamentally lazy and good for nothing unless you teach them to work. They're lazy and good for nothing. They'd rather sit around and they'd rather watch television and eat a free meal and then have you give them an allowance so they can go out and buy some drugs and go to a nightclub until they're 36 years old when Obama finally takes them off health care and they're no longer a child. At 26 years of age, maybe they'll expand it to 36. They can stay home with a hairnet and you know, you both can do your hair together and your nails. The fact of the matter is a child needs to be taught to work. A child is a formless lump of clay. Children are basically lazy and no good. You have to turn them into a worker. And that has to be done from childhood. So what do you do immediately? Let's forget the pie in the sky, Plato's Republic, reorganizing society. Let's talk about immediately. Let's say 20% of the labor force, which is illegal, goes back home. And suddenly you have jobs begging in hotel chains to make the beds. I know who makes the beds. Hardworking Guatemalan and Mexican women. I look at them. I speak with these people. I'm not immune. I can guarantee you I leave bigger tips than the liberals do. I can guarantee you, incidentally. I can guarantee you that the libs, the big mouths, don't give them 10 cents. I can guarantee you I do. So on a personal level, I know what I'm talking about. I have sympathy for hardworking people. But who would take the job is the issue, not whether I tip and you don't. The issue is who would take the job. Are you telling me that the Britney Spears look-alike girls from the suburbs are going to go and make the beds? Are you telling me that the girls from the suburbs are going to go and do menial jobs like becoming a busboy or a bus girl? I'm saying yes, they will have to. As the economy gets worse and worse, as the government finally acknowledges they're just printing money and there is no money, yes, they're going to work again. They're going to learn how to work. Maybe they'll drop a few trays in the beginning, but eventually the girls will learn to work again. The boys will learn how to work again. And then we will open thousands of trade schools across America. You put me in charge of this, I can guarantee you I could straighten this country out in less than 4 years. I would take hundreds of millions of dollars that is being wasted on Nancy Pelosi's road projects, and I would open up trade schools across America. And I said trade. Don't tell me everyone's ready for college and they all need a computer. Take a look at what's in college today. Go take a look at what goes on in your colleges. Everyone's a college boy. Take a look with their pants hanging under their behinds. That's a college boy marching around. The idiots, they're stupid when they come in. They're stupider when they go out. They want to take a job right away. They're not equipped for anything. They never should have been in college to begin with, 90% of them. Send them to trade school. See if they can even do that. That's not easy to learn how to turn a screwdriver or to cut a piece of wood straight. Go see how hard that is to learn how to be a plumber or an electrician or a carpenter or an auto mechanic. We need millions of people retrained to do actual jobs. And they could be done right here in this country. How is it that the Mexican people can train their men to be good tradesmen? Where did they learn to do this? How did so many Mexicans, for example, learn to do these things? The answer is they learned in their home country, which has a better trade school system than we do. And that is because we have been under the delusion for many years that everyone is a college boy, a white-collar web designer, or God knows what he's going to be, a CEO or a web designer. Come on, create a website. Well, the fact is he has to learn how to fix a carburetor. Maybe he ought to learn how to put a brake into a car. Maybe you ought to learn how to attach a muffler underneath the carriage of a car. And then we could become self-sufficient again from the point of view of labor. But that's skilled labor, my friends. Trade schools are not unskilled labor. That is skilled labor, and we can certainly train an entire generation in less than a year. We trained men before World War II, how to fly airplanes in a year. We trained 17-year-old boys how to fly Mustangs in less than a year. We train them how to drive tanks in less than a year. Don't tell me we can't train a generation how to turn a screwdriver in less than a year. No, it's a matter of whether we have the vision to do it, and we have the leadership to do it, and whether we have the will to do it. The answer is I have it. Do you? I'll be right back.